force fields, but more of that later. In the bottom, 6 o'clock, from Team Gravity, it's SirRobin.
And in the top 12 o'clock position, we have the red Protoss from Deadly Gaming, HuShang.
Being a manner guy, wishing his opponent GLHF.
Yeah.
Did they do that in the last 2 games? I don't even remember, but
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like we're saying, SirRobin, he hasn't broken out those swarm hosts yet. Will we see them this game? Or he kind of wants to. I mean,
be careful what you wish for.
The first time anyone's ever said that, but let's see. We'll see.
The first thing that pops into mind when swarm hosts are mentioned is that Stefano versus Petraeus game, I believe, at like one of the Red Bull events, and the game went on for about 3 hours. It was just swarm host for swarm host and a ZVZ. But
yeah, that's brutal.
HuShang is going to go for a Nexus first again. He's got a bunch of probes queued up at his Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of an interesting placement for that pylon too. I mean, that is obviously a pylon placement. I think might be unique to maps like this, where you have your kind of in-base natural there. So then you got your I don't want to say it's unique to maps like this, but it seems like something he may have decided to do simply for this map in particular. But let's see. Yeah, though, swarm hosts. Whenever I think swarm hosts, I think that crazy mana fire cake game. That's what I think.
Huh. So we do notice here that SirRobin has elected to take the low ground quote-unquote third base as his natural.
Yeah. It's kind of, a lot of Zergs do this. It's kind of just a matter of preference, I think. I don't know what the actual implications of this are as far as the strategy he's going to use later on, but it is interesting to note. Looks like it is going to get scouted here by HuShang, his little probe scout. So, good for him. Yeah, probe gets in the main, sees the gas, sees that timing, sees that hatch down at the bottom there, and he knows exactly what's up. Meanwhile, back over at his base, his Nexus is finished up, and soon enough we will get to see what his plan is here, because after all, that Cybercore will be finishing here in about the next 10 seconds. We can see. It looks like he's got enough gas to throw on the Stargate if he wants to, and he does have that pylon over to the right of his main Nexus. Uh-oh. Yeah, Mothership 4 started in Gateway, or Port Gate rather.
So yeah, no tech just yet.
Not going to go for that super early, Zest Stargate, like to get some Phoenixes out, but could still see one.
So SirRobin has seen the natural of HuShang. He knows it was the Nexus first, and he hasn't taken his own natural yet. So he's staying on 2 base very, I don't even know if it's cautiously, but maybe he's got some sort of build planned, or some sort of heavy 2-base aggression, because now is the time where we'd see some deviations from just the droning. But nope, he's gonna take that 3rd base.
Yeah, I do kind of dig what you're saying there. I mean, because lair started. Yeah, I was gonna mention. Yeah, he hadn't pulled off gas, so he's getting his lair down. What do you think this might be for? It's an early lair, so I don't know what to make of that quite.
Maybe some. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to say. There's the Roach Warren. I was thinking maybe some sort of like burrowed Roach attack, but
I think that's not a bad call.
It's really hard to say. Could be some sort of like Nidus play, maybe? I have no idea.
Yeah, Roach Nidus, you know, I would be a little dubious of whether or not that would work on a map like this where you have your in-base natural, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like HuShang is going to move out and try and take this third. It is one of the more open thirds in the ladder pool currently, so if say Robin were to pump out a bunch of roaches, I think he may well be able to get a cancel on that.
Just sending a small little force of wings here. This is more so to scout than to actually kill anything.
Yeah.
I might get a probe. Uh-oh, big damage. So just roach speed here for SirRobin. He's going for just a macro hatch. So we haven't seen the necessity of that quick lariat. I mean, the roach speed is nice, but it's not really indicative of any sort of cheesy play.
Yeah, that's true. Getting down his Evo chamber, you know, a little late now, thanks to that. I mean, yeah, I don't know what to make of this Zerg build. I mean, it seems a little funky to me, honestly. It doesn't seem super streamlined. Okay, so now he's going for his Hydra Den. Yeah, I mean, is he just going to go for some big Roach Hydra attack, do you think? Or I don't know. I mean, he's getting +1 armor.
A Roach Hydra Viper timing is super strong on this map. Just the way that the Protoss positions themselves to defend the third base. They really like sitting in this pocket here. And when you're in that pocket, you're super vulnerable to blinding clouds, and also abducts are just really strong.
It's a great point. It's a great point. I mean, and you know, if a timing like that was, sorry, go ahead.
HuShang's locked himself out in his natural. He's made this full wall here, so these probes are trying to rally out. So
yeah. Okay, so he just notices now. All right, so he gets to send those probes down there. So yeah, I mean, and interesting, very interesting. A Spire coming down. So maybe it won't be a Viper after all. I really like what you're saying there about blinding clouds, but it looks like he may just be going for Roach Hydra Corruptor.
It definitely could be.
It is interesting to me that he decided to get Carapace instead of missile attacks. He knows a lot more than I do, but that's strange to me.
And he just made a ton of lings. He made like 22 Zerglings, I think.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he does have a big supply lead, and so he could be trying to go in for a third cancel here, but the Nexus cannon's up, and he's got a bunch of force fields. I just don't know if this is going to get done.
Yeah, once the first Colossus is about to pop out, and I'd say once the second Colossus pops out, SirRobin's going to be in a bit of trouble with this army comp.
I agree, yeah.
But he does have the gold base finished up, and he's putting on all this pressure, and behind it he can just kind of get that gold base established. But, look at that double Stargate. Was the Spire scouted by... It was scouted
by a hallucinated Phoenix, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that is important to know. Yeah, and so he's interesting. Just a Muta transition off of Roach Ling. He's starting air attack upgrades. So very interesting play here by Robin.
But the Phoenixes are being pumped out here by HuShang.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's got a beat on him, and let's see. Yes, Zerg has not scouted, very importantly, he has not scouted that HuShang is making these Phoenixes here, so he's going to go in with his mutas anticipating potentially an open natural, but no, instead he's going to find Stalkers, a cannon, and sooner than later, Phoenixes to greet him.
Yeah, the Phoenix are just kind of sitting idle, but SirRobin is maxed. So the longer he stays maxed, the more gas will accrue. And he could kind of just go for a big explosion of mutas after throwing away all these lings. So we're going to see if HuShang commits to the Phoenix.
Right, so he sees this army coming. Let's
It's
a roach.
Yeah, single roach.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, HuShang's only made 4 Phoenix. He's not making any more. I think he was hoping that SirRobin would switch out of the mute attack upon seeing the Phoenix.
Ooh, loses 1 Phoenix right off the bat.
Yeah.
And oh no,
A huge
it was
wing
the
run
main.
back. Oh man, that's rough.
Man. That does
So-
not bode well.
He's gonna lose another Phoenix, and the wings are just kind of being super annoying here. Only 5 workers have gone down, though they've forced a ton of lost mining time.
Yeah, that's really good to point out. Okay, these roaches are kind of moving and attacking helter skelter. Not really doing that great, honestly, but
So the roaches,
at least, yeah.
the roaches are gonna go down, and
Oh no!
without the
these
roaches here, these
Wow.
mutas are actually just really weak to the Phoenix Blinkstalker army here of HuShang. So
Yeah,
HuShang's
that
doing a
was-
nice
that was
job.
not good.
But 82 Zerglings now in production for SirRobin. That's
Okay,
a
so
lot of
these
Zerglings.
It's true. These are, and they do have +2 carapace, which versus the +3 attack on these Blinkstalkers. I mean, it is going to help, but look, I mean, are Zerglings alone going to be able to hold off Sentries, Stalkers, and Colossus? I don't think so.
So it's more so the combination of the wings and the mutas. If the wings can come in and get a nice surround army, and maybe bug out the stalkers. If the stalkers are shooting at the wings, and they're all clumped together from the wing surround, the muta's splash attack is just going to be crazy strong.
Oh, kind of. I see what he's doing here. Okay, so he wants to go for a base trade. SirRobin does, and so he's moving across the map. He's got this lane muta force, and he's, who do you think comes out ahead here, honestly?
The mutilating army is very strong in a base trade. We don't have a recall available here for HuShang. It's really hard to say, because if one of these drones gets away and makes an extractor somewhere, HuShang does not have any sort of probe out on the map. So he has all the buildings he has at home, and then that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And his Phoenix micro is not the best here. The mutas are slowly jumping on them and picking off a few. So it's gonna be a hard hold. There haven't been any drones evacuated either from SirRobin, but the gold base is out of the way enough that it's going to give him a slight edge here if it comes down to an elimination.
I will say this, I like HuShang's spot here because, and only because, well, for a couple of reasons actually. First of all, his army wins a full-on engagement if it comes to that. Second of all, it kills buildings faster, and what's more, he can actually just, he's not doing it yet, but if he just sits there with these probes and makes a bunch of cannons around this sort of pocket base, I feel like HuShang's actually going to be able to take this.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if SirRobin would have used the drones here and maybe made a bunch of extractors, and he's trying to now, and they probably will get away. So he's going to go across the map and make extractors, and there's no more probes left for HuShang. So the mutas are going to kill this Nexus and that assimilator, and that's going to be... there are the pylons here, so SirRobin can kind of sit back and maybe defend these, but the wings can just focus them down. Okay,
so these mutas are going to come engage here. Guardian Shield is going to be able to kind of keep these Stalkers and Sentries alive, but oops. Colossus gets picked off by those mutas down there at the upper gold.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
So you're right that HuShang's army wins a straight-up fight, but SirRobin never has to take a straight-up fight. There's this warp prism flying around here. I don't know what it hopes to accomplish. There's nothing in it, and there's no supply for warp gate, any warp gate units. There's just tons of hallucinated Phoenix in the air.
Yeah. All right, let's see. How many mutas are there? 34 mutas. Yeah, you're right. Half of HuShang's army doesn't beat that. So he can't be moving around on the map, and okay, I mean he's gonna try and split up his army here. So it looks like this portion has well, yeah, it has 19 stalkers and 3 sentries, 2 of which are out of energy. So this portion, okay,
I think he's just gonna go for it. He's gonna his mutas heal, as long as he doesn't lose them, you know, he can just kind of poke in, grab a building, and then poke out. Even if he loses a few mutas, it's not the biggest deal, because he is mining.
Yep.
So, kind of an unfortunate end to this exciting base trade, but SirRobin just has the superior economy here. Or, not the economy, sorry, the army composition.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I mean, you're right. This game is over. So, what do you think HuShang could have done in this situation to maybe make it not have gone quite this way?
So, I don't want to fault him too much for his Phoenix control, because it is very difficult, but his Phoenix could have been a lot better, considering he did have the Anion Pulse Crystals. He could have done a lot more against those mutas and maybe thinned out the numbers a little bit. And I know he didn't